on your mobile phones at tunein.com or nobex.com or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145 and in Germany 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Nature has opened its gargantuan mouth once again, greedily devouring massive man-made embellishments, skyscrapers, ships, houses, aircraft, buses, trains, even the so-called earthquake-resistant nuclear plants. Violent tremors rock the Earth's belly, cutting it into 1,000,000 tiny fragments. The Pacific Sea, a ferocious 10-headed snake, raises its monstrous head and lashes out at man's arrogance. In a matter of minutes, the palace of dreams comes crashing down like a pack of cards and becomes one with the dry, barren earth. The giant tsunami has crippled the Earth's core, destroying it beyond recognition. Cyclopean structures now resemble shattered pieces of biscuits. Human and animal debris float all around, its foul stench enveloping the sick, polluted air. It seems the whole world is on the verge of collapse. A genuine apocalyptic scene where death plays the king of the world. Who is to be blamed for this massive catastrophe? Man or nature? They say, beware, it's nature's wrath, her cold, hard-hearted vengeance on mankind. However, nature says, I have suffered your insults since time immemorial. I can stand it no longer. Now, it's your chance to pay the price for your deadly deeds. Man has indeed paid for his conceited pride and beastly ways. It took only a few minutes for nature to satisfy her long, underfed appetite. A faint smile of contentment crosses her pursed lips. She opens her twisted mouth and indiscriminately splashes gallons of water on the face of the terribly devastated earth. Are you still sleeping? Isn't it time to wake up? She says, with a tinge of sarcasm, and closes the colossal gateways of earth with an iron hand.
Beautiful Mother Nature, she looked at me with a smile on her face. Then she started to cry. She said, why did my children forsake me? She felt like she was dying. Oh, ungrateful children. When she was young, she was beautiful and strong. Yeah. The more children she had, the more things went wrong. Now she's feeling old and cold, and her heart doesn't feel love anymore. Beautiful Mother Nature, she sat me down and told me to sing her a song. Maybe it would make her feel better. Maybe her children would sing along and see the wrong we have done. Make amends to mend her heart. She still wouldn't hate none of her children, no matter what the things they've done. She'll always be there when her baby's crying. She's a mother you can depend on. Beautiful Mother Nature, she's hoping her children will love her again, like one she remembered before skyscrapers and chemical plants, when she was all that we had, before they polluted her sacred land. Now her tears are falling like acid rain, and her voice sounds like earthquake. I had to beg her, Mother, please don't leave. Give another chance. I'll talk to the kids. Beautiful Mother Nature, she was mine. Beautiful Mother Nature, still is mine. Beautiful Mother Nature, she is mine. Beautiful Mother Nature, still is mine.
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 5th day of the 7th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, it's the 5th day of the 2nd month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, and according to the weather forecast, Tropical Storm Elsa is northwest of Jamaica. As Tropical Storm Elsa continues to move farther away, a high-pressure ridge is expected to build across Jamaica. Additionally, expect windy conditions across the island due to the presence of a low-level jet stream. The rest of this afternoon will be partly cloudy and windy. It's Den Slovansky Heroes Ves tu Cyrilia Ametoya, or Saint Cyril and Saint Methodius Day in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Firma Acta de Independencia, or Independence Day in Venezuela. Independence Day in Algeria and the Cape Verde Islands. Peace and Unity Day in Rwanda. Tynwald Day, or Parliament Day, on the Isle of Man. And this week is being celebrated as Caribbean Tree Planting Week, a day after the region observed CARICOM Day. Hoy es lunes, el 5 de julio 2021, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
And her voice sounds like earthquake.
C'est lundi le 5 juillet 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with USAID.
You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy,
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice, it all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Pastor, some men just feel that what they have in their pants is enough.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
Full and strong. Yeah. The more children.
And if you're still wondering what we were saying before the break, all we were saying was it's Monday, the 5th of July, 2021, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
No matter what cruel things they've done, she'll always be there when her babies cry.
We started out this afternoon with a piece entitled The Wrath of Nature by Nyanathara, Nayanathara, Nyanathara, Nyanathara, Nyanathara. The title, The Wrath of Nature. And we combined that with the sound of Bob Marley, Big Son. The Ziggy Marley, beautiful Mother Nature. No matter what we think of nature, nature is what nature does. And like anything else in this life and in this world, nature responds to stimuli or stimuli. And that response can either be what those of us feel is positive or negative, depending on who is the recipient. But it's still beautiful Mother Nature. Welcome to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you if you have found other ways of listening to Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. But in case you're still searching, there's the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to Both Sides of the Story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. You can dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM if you're in the United States or the United Kingdom. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to watch both sides of the story. But if you don't have a Facebook account, there's always YouTube. You don't need an account. You don't need to have an account with YouTube to watch us on YouTube. Just Google YouTube or use any other browser, type YouTube. The YouTube website will pop up. If you're doing it right now, then you should see this video trending. If you're not seeing it, in the YouTube search box, type DERVANMALCOLM, and you too will be able to watch both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Hello to those of you who are already out the blocks, like Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Here with you, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Nature is so strong, says Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Beautiful Mother Nature. Such a lovely song. It touches me deep within. You keep on educating us, sir. Thank you very much, Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Rani Bell in St. Thomas. Good day and blessings to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. Audrey Smith in Southampton in England says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners. Happy New Week to everyone listening from a very wet Southampton. By all means, stay dry in wet Southampton, Audrey Smith. Jennifer Stewart from Kew Road in Kencott in East Central St. Andrew. And good afternoon to you. She says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan. Thank God for this day. Please send shout out to my daughter over there in Mandeville, Nurse Hewitt, and Mrs. Sybil Thompson. We just did, Jennifer Stewart. Lots of love to them all, or to them both, she says. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Blessed love, everyone. You too, Faye Weller. Welcome. And Sophia Nemard, good to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's remind you that the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number. In fact, it is sometimes used as a straight line to get to us here on this side of the glass inside the studios of Power 106 FM. And that number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. It's the text line, at least for this program or any other program once I am on. This is the company cell phone assigned to me, 876-365-3346. It's a text line. It's a WhatsApp number, which means you can also send your voice notes. You can call via WhatsApp, and you can also call us directly on this same number, 876-365-3346. Here's a call on WhatsApp from Florida. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm always, each time it comes in my memory, it's slipping, but I remember it today, so I want to ask you before your program get busy. You believe that we live in two Jamaica or one Jamaica?
We would like to think that this is one Jamaica, but who feels it knows it. If there are, no doubt there are those who feel like it's two Jamaicas, and there are those who don't. It's a matter of perspective and experience. What is your experience, and how that experience informs your position?
I notice when certain people get in problem with the law, and I think the media to be blamed. They're running through the news one time, and you hear it again. For instance, Victoria Mutual people sometimes have a problem.
That's a court matter. That's a court matter. I don't think that's over yet. As far as I know, the matter is in court. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter who you are or what institution you represent. You are not, nobody's above the law, and that matter is in court.
Yeah, we oftentimes hear that, but what I'm not satisfied with sometimes is when certain people get in problem, like, for instance, I look a hard nerve, I put it that way. You will hear it in the news more often than when the big man get in problem.
Well, it's a function. We can't come between you and what you hear, but they from monitoring virtually every newscast in any given day on not just this station, but right across the media landscape. The media the media, pretty much media being plural, the media treat every situation pretty much the same. The media have no vested interest in that regard. What would it benefit? How would that benefit the media by deliberately presenting a story once and that's it? Who benefits from that?
I don't know, but why is it? All right, I don't know exactly who benefit, but there are times you hear something that's run through the news one time, and that's it. You don't hear the ending of it, and we work out.
Well, maybe we're not doing that well in media when it comes on to follow-ups. I can understand that because of the competitive media environment. Everybody wants to have whatever the big news is. Everybody wants to break the story. And invariably, we tend to go, it seems, for what's happening now, as opposed to going back to something that happened yesterday and last week and a year ago and 5 years ago. Although there are ways to do that if we contextualize a lot of these stories. In other words, invariably, and we do have a lot of young journalists around as well, and invariably some things appear new to them because of their age. Some things appear new to them, and therefore their stories just give you whatever is new. For those with a little more experience, they would perhaps be able to hearken back to a similar situation that happened at a particular time, and by putting the story in its proper context, listeners, viewers, and readers have a better appreciation for what happened, why it happened, what happened before, etc. So it's really a function of the individual who's working on the story or the stories and those who supervise them.
Okay. Here's wise.
All right, here we go again. Your internet service seems to have really deteriorated. There was a time we could hear you consistently clear, but of late, last 3 weeks or so, it's been this way. I'm not sure why. Hello? Yeah. It's not working out. Sorry about that. Please call us again later, perhaps. We have to break for our regular Monday afternoon feature, Land Solutions, here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. So we'll go to Land Solutions and then come back with more in a moment. In the meantime, let's welcome Junior Jabari. Good afternoon, he says. Giving thanks, we've survived the worst of Elsa. Ras Charlie in the Bahamas, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the very best.
The smile on her face. Then she started to cry.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. The National Irrigation Commission Limited NIC is reminding the public that bathing, swimming, washing of clothes and motor vehicles is prohibited at their canals, dams and reservoirs. In fact, trespassing on the irrigation infrastructure is punishable by law under the Irrigation Act. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Win big this summer. Enter the Gleaner Star Luxurious Escape competition. Win the grand prize of 2 weekends for two at an all-inclusive hotel plus $25,000 in groceries, weekly cash prizes, and more. Buy a printed copy of the Gleaner Star. Enter the serial number at the front page by texting 876-322-7967 or online at gleanerluxury.com. Competition runs from June 6 to July 10, 2021. See the Gleaner and the Star for details. Your luxurious escape awaits.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's OneSpotMedia.com. Watch your favorite local program or listen to your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at OneSpotMedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook.com/OneSpotMedia, and subscribe now.
OneSpotMedia.com.
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions. This is the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with a sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line for Land Solutions today, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. Land Solutions has a website, landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. They encourage their clients and potential clients to call ahead instead of or before turning up. Call ahead and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers for the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Let's, in a moment, say good afternoon and welcome to Attorney at Law, Gloria Brown.
Thanks as usual, Dervan, and good afternoon to listeners. Welcome to Land Solutions. The numbers to call 922-411-224, 876-922-411-224, and the text line, you can send a text message to or WhatsApp message to 876-387-3183, 387-3183. And I want to start this afternoon by looking a little bit at the duties of an executor. I promised a client I would look at that because there seems to be some misunderstanding as well, also in relation to who to appoint as your executor. And I want to remind persons that a beneficiary can be an executor and should be the executor if the beneficiaries are reliable and also if they are over the age of 18. So there seem to be, Jamaicans we have some beliefs and we hold on to them. And we realize that a lot of persons, even though we say it so many times, they're still not accepting the fact that the person you're giving your house to can be the executor and should be the executor. So my husband is willing the house to make me the executor and also the beneficiary. So you don't have to bring outsiders in to be executors. You're going to bring outsiders in to be the witness, and that is where the mix-up is taking place, because we hear all the time that the witness is not to be a beneficiary. So we think that the executor is also not to be a beneficiary. No, The executor can be a beneficiary. It's the witness. That's what the persons I wanted to keep in mind. The only thing you need to remember. The witness is not to get anything out of the will or the witness's spouse. Also remember that the executor is to get 6% of the estate. So you die leaving a house that's valued at $10 million. The executor or executors are to share 6% of that, which is 600,000. Executors might not be able to, maybe you didn't even leave 600,000. So executors could sell your property in order to pay themselves, even though you say in the will that the property is not to be sold. And remember, there's also lawyer's fee to be paid. And lawyer's fee can move up to 8%. All right, so when you look at it, you might have maybe 14%, 1.4 million of the 10 million might be fees. So it's very, very important, because if you had appointed then the person you are within the house, then the person would not be looking to collect executor's fees since that person is benefiting. So those are some of the things we need to consider. So I'm reminding my listeners this afternoon, the beneficiaries can be executors and should be the first choice when you are choosing executors. Even though the will form that you buy at the store makes provision for two executors, you can have 4 executors. You can have as many as 4 executors in your will when you're writing your will. So that's something that we need to know. Another thing, and remember the numbers to call 922-4112, 922-4113, and 922-4114. That's 876-922-411224. A lot of times you don't even know you're an executor until the person dies and somebody calls you to say, hey, John Brown has appointed you executor. You don't have to accept the position. You can renounce. There's a document that the lawyer will prepare called a deed of renunciation where you give up the executorship. So you don't have to accept it. But if you accept it, then you have certain responsibilities. You need to apply to the court for a grant of probate. And we hear the word all the time, I'm going to probate the will. But what is this probate? It really is a court order signed by the court giving the executor's permission to start sharing up what the person died leaving, the assets of the deceased, share up what the person died and left. Who is to get what? That's what the probate will give you the authority to do. So you can't start make provision to get the money out of the bank and to get the house sold when you haven't got the probate, because you have the executor has to get the probate. And that probate is a piece of paper, usually just one page, signed by and sealed by the court and stamped by the stamp office. And when you have that document now, then you step in the shoes of the dead person. Anything the dead person could do, you can do. So your name will go on the title as the executor. And then you transfer to the beneficiaries, or if you are to sell it, then you sell it. You're going to take that piece of paper to the insurance company and collect the money that the person had, because the person had an insurance policy and no beneficiary was named. The person had a bank account with their name alone. You're going to go to the bank. Some of the banks will ask you to set up an estate account where they put the money in and then you can draw, or some might just give you a check in your name. You're going to collect the NHT contribution refund that the person had. You're going to have to deal with the shares that the person died leaving, the furniture, anything that the person died leaving. The executors are going to be in charge of that. So it's really a great responsibility. Your job is to get the probate, collect all the assets that the person died leaving. And if they are young children, you're going to have to be, unless the person said otherwise in the will, you're going to be the trustees for that person's minor beneficiaries, the young children. You're going to make sure they are educated out of the funds that the person died leaving, that they are put in a position to be able to live at the standard they were living before the person died. You're going to have to pay the school fee, to do all kind of things. You have a responsibility. So the position as executor is not an easy position. It's a great position of trust and responsibility, which is why I keep stressing, choose your executors with care, because you want executors who are honest, because they have so much power. They are able to do partially any and everything. So it is very, very important to choose them carefully. When a person dies, as I said before, the executor's responsibility is to ensure that the person is properly buried. It goes as far as that. Or if the person wanted to be cremated, to ensure that the person is cremated, to make sure that everything that all the things that the person entrusted to you, that those responsibilities are met, are carried out, and carried out on a timely basis as well, because so many persons are appointed executors and 5-10 years have passed. then what those persons need to do is that if you realize you can't manage it, then give it up. But do not take on such a responsibility and then allow beneficiaries to just sit by idle, allow persons to take away the property from young beneficiaries. We have seen that in terms of the responsibility that some persons have misused the responsibility afforded them. Because as I said, when persons appoint you as executor, it's a position of trust, it's a position of where they hold you. The person has died knowing that they have appointed somebody who is responsible as their executors, and be hopeful that you would fulfill the obligations, okay, on the obligations that have been laid out for you as executor. What are the obligations? This is a text message. What are the obligations of the executor and or the lawyer he or she appoints to probate the will? So as I said before, I just spoke to you about the responsibility of the executor, and I go into that a little more. But what the executor or executors need to do then, they need to appoint a lawyer now. The executors or executor need to agree on a lawyer to probate the will, and they are going to take to the lawyer the original will, not a photocopy, the original will, as well as the death certificate, the original death certificate for the person, because the court has to get the original death certificate and you're not going to get it back. So if you live abroad and somebody has died abroad, even in Jamaica as well, when you're applying for these certificates, don't just apply for one, apply for 5 or so. Because anyone you send to title's office, they're not going to return. Anyone you send to the court, they are not going to return, because this will have to be a part of the record that they will keep forever and forever. So that is very, very important, that you take the original will to the lawyer and the original death certificate. The lawyer has to get some things typed up or written up on the back of the will that one of the witnesses will sign, that the executors will have to sign. So it's a lot of work for the lawyer to do in terms of preparing the document and getting the grant of probate out of the court. All of that is the lawyer's responsibility. When you take the documents to the lawyer's responsibility is to ensure that you get that piece of paper called a grant of probate. As I said before, the executor, the person who just sent me the text message wanted to know what are the obligations of the executor, and I said they are far-reaching. Even as far as to ensure that the person is properly buried or cremated if the person wanted cremation, ensure that all the assets of the person, the assets are collected. And while I'm saying that as well, I want to say to persons writing wills, sometimes you might say, you don't have to put the bank account in there because another name is on the account. But you really should put, if that person should die before you, what is to happen to the funds, anything you have with a joint name, put it in the will. You have a house with your husband or your wife as a joint tenant, put in it, if my wife should die before me, I give the money with your children as joint account holders. If my child John and my son John and my daughter Mary should die before me, what is to happen? Mention everything. If you don't want to mention them, even make a list of the assets and put them with the will. So when anything should happen to you, especially if your beneficiaries are young, they will know that, yes, mommy had this insurance policy with this company, that one with that other company, this bank account with this person, with this company. Because sometimes after you pass, the bank can't find the records and nobody is there to know that you had that. You had those assets. So it's good to ensure that everything is listed so the beneficiaries don't have to be searching around and wondering. Then, I know I used to take grandmother to a bank downtown, but I don't remember. Especially when the beneficiaries are abroad, they lose track of what is happening here. They lose track of where things are. Please make a list of everything you have, even if there are joint persons on it. Say the money I have in the bank with John's name on it, John is to get it. Or John is just a trustee and the money is to be shared up. Also, you have a responsibility. Okay, I think we're up on a break. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with USAID.
Choose Smart Stop Auto Supplies for service and front-end parts for Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and Suzuki make cars. We also sell batteries and tints and specialize in radiator and radiator parts. We source hard-to-get parts by special order. Smart Stop Auto Supplies, Shop 4, Dr. Rock Plaza, Santa Cruz at 876-966-2869. Make the smart stop.
Class is in session on Hits 92 FM and Power 106 FM. Join Hits 92 FM from Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Power 106 FM on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for class time. Fun, interactive, educational content for students from the early childhood to secondary level. We take you to school on a wide range of subjects, including language arts, literacy, mathematics, civics, religious education, and others, all from the comfort of your home. Class time on Hits 92 FM and Power 106 FM is brought to you in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Youth, and Information.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line for Land Solutions is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. There's also a Facebook page, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. You can visit their website, landsolutionsja.com. and email gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Yes, continuing on the duties of an executor. I said earlier that a lot of executors have failed to act and years have passed, but a lot of times you can't really blame the executors because a lot of executors are really left with basket to carry water because you appoint them as executors but they have no funds to act. How can an executor take a will to a lawyer who is telling them we need 6% of the value of the estate when the executor has no money? So it's the beneficiaries who must put the executors in a position to act. Because you really can't expect the executors to take their own funds to go and probate your relatives' wills, which is why we say again, best persons to deal with it. If you're not going to leave the executors in a position with the monies to deal with these things, make the persons you are leaving the assets to the executors.
We have another call for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I got
Good afternoon.
House. Good afternoon. I got a house from the housing trust.
Yes.
And when after I paid my last mortgage, I got a certificate of title, but the title was lost. How can I get back another title?
So your title is lost?
Yes.
It's in your name alone?
My name and my husband's name.
And your husband is around?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Do you have a copy of the title or the title number?
No.
All right. Do you have the property taxes?
I can't find the last receipt either.
But can you find an old tax paper?
Maybe I'd have to search.
I'm going to ask you to search. Is the property in Kingston or St. Andrew?
It's in St. Andrew.
It's in St. Andrew, which means it might not be so difficult to find. But if you find the tax paper and call me tomorrow,
yes,
I will do a search for you and tell you your title number.
Yes.
Yes. Because you need to get a copy and then you're going to have to come to us if you want us to assist you. We have to do a lost title application.
Yes.
It's something that will take about 3 months or more. You have to do the application, send it to the titles office. If they are satisfied, they are going to give you a notice to advertise in the newspaper.
Yes.
And then you have to wait until 2 weeks after the first ad comes out to submit the ad back to the titles office for them to give a new title.
Okay.
So it's not just something you just go in and get another one. It's a complex, it's a process.
Yes.
And it's going to cost you, which is why persons need to put away your title so carefully.
But I was told that I was told by some policewoman that the title that I got from the housing trust was not the proper title. I should apply a title justice.
No, housing trust would have given you back your real title. But you want to go into them and ask them they really gave you back. No, man, titles office would not keep your titles. Titles are issued in duplicate. Titles office has an original one that cannot leave the titles office.
Yes.
And they would have given you a duplicate that housing trust was holding on to.
Okay.
When you finish paying off the mortgage, housing trust will give you back your duplicate. If that is what is lost, you have to do a lost title application. Titles office would not have it.
So what you said to try and
get the tax number, because if you call me tomorrow and give me the tax number, maybe I can find the title number for you.
Tax number.
But you could also go back to housing trust and ask them to make sure that they gave you back the title.
Yes.
Find that out first, because you don't want to go through this expense and then housing trust has it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure, my pleasure.
Yes.
Sure, but the number is to call 876-922-4112 to 4. So again, just to reinforce, when we get that little piece of paper called a title, we need to put it up carefully. And it's not a lot of persons will call it an original title, but it's not an original, it's a duplicate. The original title is kept in titles office, and you'll see a stamp on it to say not to be removed from the titles office. So it cannot leave the titles office, the original. But the duplicate is the one that you get, that one that is folded up. The titles office one is not folded. And when you have that duplicate, if you lose it, you have to do a lost title application to replace it. And as I said, it takes some time. It takes about 3 months or so to get back the new title. That is, if everything, all things being equal, and you can get the process quickly. Otherwise, it can take longer. And what the titles office will do, they are going to cancel their original title, the one that was matching the one that you have lost. You're not going to get one with the same number. They're going to get a brand new title with brand new numbers, and the numbers will start at wherever the titles office is at now in the sequence. And that is how the process goes. So when you get that piece of title, that piece of paper called a title, you need to put it up carefully, because the lost title application is an expensive process. It's expensive to get that little piece of paper replaced. It's not going to cost you $1,000 or $5,000. It's going to cost you quite a bit of money. So put away your title carefully. Sometimes persons come and they take it away. And whenever you lose your title, you need to go and look at the title office, because somebody could have stolen it, use it to borrow money by fraud, all different kinds of things, sold their properties. We have had situations like those, where persons steal persons' titles, get IDs and so on, and do all the crazy kind of things. Okay, fraudulent things that can send persons to prison. So put away that piece of paper carefully when you get it. I want to look back a little bit more now as to continue on what we were talking about, the duties of the executor. We said the person has a responsibility to care for the children, maybe even the spouse, because if an older person died and they have a spouse who was dependent on them and maybe not very well, it's the executor's responsibility to take care of the children or of the dependent spouse. And sometimes we hear that executors have taken the assets. An executor of a will cannot take everything unless they are the beneficiary in the will. They have a fiduciary relationship, and the relationship, they are in a position of trust. He has a legal duty to act in the beneficiaries and in the estate's best interest, and must distribute the assets according to the will, unless the executor is forced to sell the assets. And when executors are selling, I beg of executors, get valuations. Sometimes to protect yourself, get 2 valuations from 2 different reputable companies. And these things can be so strange. The other day I had to do valuations. A person with an executor wanted to sell a property, and I advised her, do a valuation. I got a valuation, and the difference between the 2 valuations is about $4 million. And it's not as if the properties are high-end values. It was like a 9 point odd and a 15 point odd $1 million. Those are two reputable firms giving two valuations like that. So it might suit the executors sometimes to get two valuations that the estate pay for it, because you don't want later on to be accused of doing a fire sale, selling assets, because beneficiaries sometimes get very disgruntled even without cause, and to say that you sold the property cheap to your friends and to your family. So when in doubt, get two valuations if you can afford to, if the estate can afford to, but always executors, protect yourselves. Protect yourselves, because sometimes when persons are dissatisfied and feel that enough was not left for them or enough is not there, then they can accuse you falsely. And really, when your reputation goes, and persons can accuse persons, so many times persons are accused and it's not just. But we know that most of the times, as a people, we like to believe the worst about others. So executors, you are in a tricky position. And remember, I said, as an executor, you have the right. You don't have to take the position. You can do a renunciation. And that doesn't mean just writing a letter. We have this belief that if you write a letter to say, I don't want anything out of the will, it can work like that. It doesn't work like that. The lawyers will have to prepare documents. So even when you will the property to 5 children and 2 of them say they don't want it, it has to be transferred to all 5, and then they can transfer to the other 3, those who don't want. But it's difficult. You can't just walk away from the will like that. So what am I saying to executors? The first thing when you're appointing an executor, let the person know. So the person has the option to say, I don't want to be your executor. Tell me you're going to... Yes, Dervan?
Yes. Another call for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, my mother and father died leave peace a lot, but she died and leave 5 hours, but she never met my will.
Yes.
And what happened, I have a sister will come and take the cycle and the tax paper and the cut off. But she can't do it now.
All right. When did your parents die?
One dead about 7 years and the other one dead about. That's about 10 years.
All right. You need to go to a lawyer with the death certificate so they can administer the estate.
No, I don't have the death certificate. The sister who took the title and the she has a death certificate.
All right. Let me ask you something. Do you have a birth certificate?
Birth?
For yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Suppose it lost. Oh, you're going to get another one.
If it lost?
If your birth certificate lost, so you're going to get another one.
I don't know.
All right. Do you ever hear about a place named RGD, Registrar General Department?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Go out there and apply for the death certificate for your mother. You can apply for 100 of them.
Okay. Okay.
So when persons hold on to one and feel that they have the power, you go there and apply for one anytime you want.
The RGD.
Yes, and then you and the other brothers and sisters can go and administer the estate so you can share up the land.
No, but the land is not big enough to share.
Share means you transfer it to all of you.
Oh, okay. But she have it and she act like a Jew. She have it not fear the land.
All right, well, you go and do what I tell you to do. Go and get the death certificate and go to a lawyer to administer it. Because it's 7 years now, and a lot of time when we sit down and quarreling, we could be doing something.
Yeah, but she don't live here on the land.
It doesn't matter. You live on it?
Yes, I live here.
Okay, you have your own house on it?
Yes, ma'am. And look at boardhouse on it.
All right, so you go and do what I tell you to do. Get the death certificate and then come back and talk to me.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
All right, sir. Thanks.
Another break, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan.
The Time by Medical Disposables and Supplies Limited, an official distributor of 3M Healthcare Solutions, 83 Hagley Park Road, Kingston 10, is 3 p.m.
Your taxes hold the key.
Nobody come in line. Pay your taxes online.
So many options. You choose. Pay online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. TAJ mobile app, direct funds transfer, and NCB online banking.
It's safe, convenient, and secure.
Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Hello, Jamaica. I am Death. I sincerely appreciate your amazing effort ushering persons to the afterlife. Motorists, please continue overtaking on unbroken lines, running red lights, and speeding through school zones. You've exceeded my expectations and my quota. Ward off death. Obey the road code. A message from the Road Safety Unit.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114. And the text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp number, is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. That's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They do have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. Their clients and potential clients are being encouraged to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Just looking at some text messages before I go back to looking at the job of the executor. The person is saying that the title is old and worn, and they need to know how to get the new one, and it's a Section 79 application that is made. See, the person was asking, it's a Section 79 that you make to get a new one. This was a person saying, good day, there are 2 lots of land. I built my house, and the other person dig down her piece of land. No, my land is coming in on me. Talk to her about a retaining wall, nothing done. I have my fence there already. Please help me. I would advise this person to go immediately to the parish council. Take some photographs first, go immediately to the parish council. But the sad thing, or what we call the municipal corporation. But the sad thing is that you go to a lot of these places and nothing done. You might have to get a lawyer and to get an order from the court, because your house is the biggest investment you're going to make, and you can't afford for someone to undermine it now. So go immediately to the parish council, take some pictures with you, show it so they can send a building officer or a planner out to look at it. And you might just have to get a lawyer to get an hearing in court quickly for the court to give an order so you can protect your house.
Another call, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Yes, Miss. Good afternoon, Miss Brown. My husband died 2019, but before he died, he had destroyed most of the papers. He never put my name on the will, on the land title. It was only his name alone on the land title. I lost some of the paper, but there's just this big piece of paper. How can I get back a title for the land?
So you're saying your husband's name alone was on the title. He died. Did he make a will?
He never made no will, and then him that get dementia. So,
all right, understood. Okay, he has children.
Yes, I have. No, only my children. I had 2 from time. One died, leave one. He's now 27 years old.
And that's the only child he had?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The one who died had children?
Yes, he had 3 children before he died.
All right. Because what is going to happen is that half of the property will belong to you and half to the quarter to the son who is alive and quarter to the children of the one who died.
I have no problem. I just want to know how can I get back the title
All right. So you're
to
going
do
to have
all of that.
all right. Before you can get back the title, you're going to have to administer his estate. If he had made a will, we'll probate the will. He never made a will, so we have to administer the estate. So I'm going to ask you to get his death certificate.
I have some death certificates.
Wonderful. All right. You're going to send me a WhatsApp message on my WhatsApp number 387-3183.
Oh, I have that. Okay.
3183, and ask me to please send you an LA form, meaning letters of administration, LA.
LA form?
Yeah, just say, please send me an LA form, and I send you the form, and that is the form that will start the process to administer the estate.
No problem.
All right?
Okay, LA form. Okay.
Yes, all right. Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sure, bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am.
So when a person dies and makes a will, we probate the will. When they don't make a will, we have to administer the estate. So the wife, she's the wife, so she's the one in the first in line to do the application. So she's the one who's going to have to do the application to administer the estate. Note that I said to her, because when her husband died, he died leaving one child, but one child had died, but that child had children. So the wife is going to get half of what the gentleman died leaving, her husband died leaving. The child who is alive is going to get a quarter. And the children of the one who died will get the quarter for their dead father's share. So that not because he has died, that will not leave out those children. Under the Wills Act, the children of a deceased child will get the benefit of that child. So what she's going to do, we're going to have to apply to the court for a grant of letters of administration. We'd have applied for a grant of probate if he had made a will. And I take this opportunity again to beg my listeners to write your wills. Okay, we see what is happening. The COVID has taken home more than 1,000 Jamaicans, most of them older persons. And some time ago, I told persons I had taken my first vaccine. 3 weeks ago, I took the third one, and I took the second one. I'm sorry. Okay, 3 weeks ago, I took my second vaccine, so I'm now fully immunized, but still wearing my mask because recognize that even though I'm fully immunized, I can still pass the virus to other persons, to my clients, etc. So I still wear my mask, but I'm now fully immunized. I know a lot of persons have what we call vaccine hesitancy, but I've not heard of too many persons who, well, let me leave it at that, but just to tell persons that as your lawyer on the program, I am fully immunized and still standing.
Another call for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please.
Yes, sir.
Can I speak to you after you? Program, please?
All right, just listen for my number and then give me a call afterwards.
Okay, ma'am.
387-3183.
387-3183.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah.
Remember that is also my WhatsApp number. Does the beneficiary have the right to sue the executors they fail to administer the estate diligently and correctly? Yes, you can sue anybody, yes, and you have the right to sue the executor if they have not done their job with diligence, which is why I tell executors, be careful how you take on this responsibility, because you have some beneficiaries who say they don't get enough. Good day, Ms. Brown. I would like to know if grants have more talk than families. Our parents died leaving a small piece of land.
Can you take another call before you?
Yes, Dervan. Thank you so
Right,
much.
sure.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Ms.
Yes,
Brown.
sir. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
In terms of renouncing an executorship, what is the process?
The attorney will prepare the document for you called a deed of renunciation that you sign, and then it is stamped at the stamp office and recorded at RGD.
Okay.
So not a letter won't do. The lawyer needs to draft it for you. It's called a deed of renunciation.
Okay. And in the case of an estate where one is granted letter of administration and the sole person,
Yes.
and they don't find it convenient to act and wish to pass it on to the son of a beneficiary.
What you wish to pass on the assets, not the grant.
No, the grant. It cannot be done.
No, you can't pass the grant to somebody else. So how did you
No,
get
no, not far. What do you mean? Would it require me to reapply?
Yes, you'd have to reapply. The person would have to reapply with something we call a de bonus none. So if somebody has gone so far as to get the grant, just transfer the assets.
Okay. Well.
And how did this person get administration? There was a will?
No, there's no will. So letter of administration were granted.
To who? To who? If it's not a child, it's a child or a spouse.
No, to one of the beneficiaries.
No, you mean to one of the children?
Yeah. Children,
right, and that child doesn't want to deal with it again?
No. They're rather sort of elderly now. And
so why doesn't that person just finish up what is to be done? It can't take a week. It can't take a week to sign up the papers to give who is to get what. But if they don't want to continue, then somebody else will have to apply again. But you can imagine what a waste of expense to go and pay the lawyer again to do it all over again.
Oh, it's a costly fee?
Yes, it is. Because it's based on the value of the estate and can run you up to 8%.
Okay.
So I would just let that person, no matter the age, try to just get the papers signed up for who to get what. That's what I would love to ask that person.
All right. Thank you for that information.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Sure. Bye-bye. The numbers to call 922411224. And the text message I was reading before, good day, Mr. I'd like to know if grants have more talk. The rest of the message I'm not understanding. So maybe it's best if that person, gives me a call. So we're generating some interesting questions. Okay, what are the obligations of the executor? Can the executor be sued? Yes, and we said that yes, the executor can be sued. So executor, it can be a very ungrateful job. Okay, this person is saying that it seems as if, yes, and I agree that the WhatsApp messages might not be coming through. But I still see where I have quite a few here. Wife of a deceased husband wants to make a will, but the will from her husband was not probated and she doesn't know where it is. 4 adult children are involved. What can she do? Yes, still make your will. Even though you have not probated your husband's will, then go ahead and probate. If you can't sign the will, then apply for letters of administration. And then you and the children would share what is there as the asset. But don't wait to probate your husband's will to make your will, because you still have your share in the estate. The very day he died, you had your share in the estate. So you can start sharing. So 4 adult children are involved, so half would go to you, half to the children. So get your lawyer and apply for administration. If the beneficiaries are the executors, yes, you still have to do the probate, because how is your name going to go on the title? So if the beneficiaries are the executors, they still have to probate, because there's nobody to sign for the dead person unless you get that probate. Who is going to sign over the thing to the beneficiary? You have to probate even though you are executor and you are beneficiary. Good day, Ms. Brown. How much would it cost to add another person's name to a title? It depends on where it is, what parish it is in, and the value of the property. So if you can tell me the value, yes, Dervan, and where the property is located, then I can advise you properly as to cost.
All right, let's take the break and come back with more, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Hey, you see, these days, it's good to get straight to the point. Quick and easy. That's why Western Union gives you another way to receive money straight to your bank account with Western Union's direct-to-bank money transfer. Visit a Western Union agent location and sign up now. And tell your family and friends to send your next Western Union money transfer directly to your bank account in Jamaica. It's easy. Visit a Western Union location or call our call center at 876-926-2454. Sign up today to receive a money transfer directly to your bank account with ease with Western Union. Moving money for better.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy,
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Pastor, some men just feel that what they have in their pants is enough.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
It's the final segment of Land Solutions for today, Monday, the 5th of July, 2021. Get in those questions, queries, and points of clarification now before today's edition comes to an end. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, and 876-922-4114. The text line and WhatsApp number are one and the same for Land Solutions: 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged as clients and potential clients to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company, and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Just before we send it back to you, Gloria Brown, one of our viewers on Facebook Live, Neriga Smart Morgan 7, says, there is so much for us to still learn. Wow. Land Solutions it is. Thanks much to you, Miss Gloria Brown. I'm in class and I'm sure learning.
Thank you, Nerissa. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dervan.
Sure.
Another text message. I just want to know if someone died leaving a will, but the will continues over to the back. Two witnesses sign at the front and only one sign at the back. There is no executor on the will. I want to know if the will is valid. Yes, the will is valid. Even if an executor is not named, that does not affect the validity. What we're going to have to challenge now is whether or not what is written at the back can be accepted as a part of the will. So if I were the lawyer, I would still apply to probate the entire will, back and front. Let the witnesses explain what happened, why one did not sign the back, and let the court decide. But the will is still valid, especially in relation to the front page, that I am sure about. You don't have to name an executor for the will to be valid. What is going to happen, though, is that you are not going to apply for a grant of probate. You're going to apply for something called letters of administration with the will annexed. So anybody named in the will as a beneficiary can apply to administer this will. You know, it sounds a little bit strange, but you're going to apply it because only executors can get probate. So no executor was named, or if the executors have died, you can't apply for probate again. You're going to apply for letters of administration with the will annexed or with the will attached. So I would go ahead with probating this will and let the court decide whether or not they are going to admit what is written at the back of the will.
Another call for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you tell me, please, if someone is married and wants to buy a property in Jamaica, but the person just wants her name alone on his tent, is that possible?
If they don't want their name alone on it?
Just the person name alone. They don't want the husband name on the title. Is that possible?
Yes, it is. It is, yes.
But if the person dies, it will still end up going to the husband?
No, you would have to make a will to say who is to get it.
Oh, I can make a will. Okay.
Yes, because
Thank you so much.
if you don't make a will, it's going to go to husband and children. Yes. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, too. Bye-bye. My sister.
Sorry, Ms. Brown, we don't have another call at the moment, but just another message of encouragement. Andrea Brown McNeish says, such great information.
Thank you, Dervan. Thank you, Andrea. The aim is for persons to learn because, as Power says, knowledge is power. My sister's lawyer made a mistake while preparing the documents to apply for the title of the land on which she is living by using the lot number for the address number. The lawyer said it does not make a difference concerning the title. Is that right? She's living by using the lot number for the address of the person. Yes, because I think what you are saying is that when the title came out, your sister's address, as noted on the title, is incorrect. And it's not crucial because what happens if your sister moves from that address now? Okay, so she had 10 Broad Street and now she's living at 20 Church Street. Are you going to go into the titles office and ask them to change the address? So it's not crucial. If your sister is insisting, the lawyer can do an application to amend the address, and that can be done at the title office. It's going to cost you a few $1,000s. But personally, I don't think address is crucial. But to put your mind at it, because it can be important sometimes, because they might want, suppose the title office, something happens and they want to serve you a notice, then they would have the wrong address. So it doesn't affect the validity of your title. Your title is still legitimate and correct. But if you want it to be addressed, just ask your lawyer to do an application to amend the address, and the title office will cross it out with and write the new address using red ink. That's the provision that is made in the act. They're going to use a red ink to correct it. This person is asking, where do you find the National Land Agency on Arden? It's ARDENNE, Arden Road. It's 8 Arden Road, the same road with the Arden High School. Go above Dervan House and on your right going up towards Papine. Okay, it's not walking distance from halfway tree. It's a little far, but it's not very far. So it's 8 Arden Road that you would find it. The number is to call 387-3183 or the text line, the same text line and WhatsApp line 387-3183, 876-387-3183. And remember as well, a person had asked earlier the cost to add persons to your title. And remember, I told the person you're going to have to say what parish it is in. And you might wonder, why is Ms. Brown saying the parish? Because there are certain parishes where you have some waivers that will reduce the transfer tax that you have to pay. All the parishes in Jamaica except all of, St. Andrew and parts of St. Catherine and Kingston. So if you're in any other parish and you want to add persons to your title, you can get a reduction, a significant reduction in the transfer tax. Anywhere in Jamaica except for Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine. All of St. Catherine, you'll get the waiver except Portmore. So anywhere in St. Catherine, you'll get a reduction in the transfer tax except for Portmore. And if you're in Nagohead, you can get the reduction. That's the only part of Portmore. Also, if you are in St. Andrew, you won't get the reduction unless you are in the Rock Hall area or the Lawrence Tavern area. If you are in downtown Kingston, only Rosetown, you'll get the waiver. So it depends on where the property is. So that's why I usually ask persons what parish is it in. And also it's going to be dependent on the value because the lawyer's fees, etc., will be based on value of the property in order to determine what is the cost of adding. And remember, I usually tell my clients, be careful who you add to the title. The best son today can become a nightmare tomorrow. So I have seen persons add. I heard about some parent who transferred a property to a child. I said it before on this program, and little after the child gave the parents notice, notice to leave her property. So these are things we need to consider, which is why I always encourage my clients, if you're going to transfer property or add children to property, take a life interest. So the title will read to John Brown for life and after death to the children, and you name the children. And as long as the children are adults, get them to sign a disclaimer to say as long as you are alive, you are free to do whatever you want with the property and the proceeds will be yours. If the children are minors, then let the lawyer prepare what we call a reservation clause to say you reserve the right during the infancy of the children to do whatever you want with the property, as if you were the full owner of the property. Those are some things that we need to know about.
Let's see if we can get in another caller. Ms.
Thank you,
Brown.
Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. How can I help?
No, me the same person ask if I can, like my mother did, I never make no will, and my sister can't take it title and the tax paper. Suppose when me check it, she put her name on the title, we don't check none of it.
Well, you can always. Let's not cross the bridge until we reach it. You can go to title's office and get a copy of the title to look at it.
Okay.
Just go to any title's office. You have one downtown Kingston near to Gleaner Company. Just go there, give them the address, pay $1,000 and get a search done and look at the title. You can also lodge a savior.
I live in Westmoreland.
Yes.
I'm living in Westmoreland.
Oh, there's one in Montego Bay.
Okay.
There's a tax office in Montego Bay.
It's like how she has to taxes. She have all right free land.
No, man. Tax don't make anybody own land. It's something I say on this program all the time.
Okay.
Whoever pay the tax don't have any more power, more because we don't pay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
All right. That don't give her any more authority over you because she paid the tax.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm saying to my listeners today, on the first Monday in the month of July, I'm begging my listeners to make the wills. Make the wills. We're having too many challenges, too many concerns. Even though we have been doing land solutions for so many years, Khaleesi and I, we still have too many problems, too many concerns. I'm very pleased, though, that a lot of our listeners I've met so many persons who have told me how much they have learned from this program. Persons have told me that they have become the village lawyers in their community because they are given guidance. And that's the aim, we might feel that person must go to a lawyer for everything. But persons need to have this kind of knowledge where when you see somebody making a wrong move, you can say to them, no, that's not how it is done. And that's the aim of the program, to educate persons. Because too long we have kept information, in our breast, close to our chest, because we feel that when persons have information, then they will have power. And that's the aim. Give persons power. Let us empower people. People are too ignorant.
Ms. Brown, let's see if we can squeeze in this text message, this WhatsApp message actually. My grandfather died from the year 2000. My mother live on the property from I was a toddler. The land adjoins a cemetery, but few graves came over on our property. I brought the situation to the parish council, nothing done. Plus the property tax take adjusts from $4,000 to almost $11,000, and there's no development on the land. About 3 houses on the property. The land is in an area that is not developed.
Well, the person would have to apply to land value in order to appeal the value, to say that it's too expensive. And if your mother has a pension, she's also entitled to certain rebates. So what I'm going to ask this person is to give me a call. My number is 387-3183. Give me a call so I can give some guidance as to how to deal with this and to deal with the graves that are on the land. Thank you so much, Dervan.
Sure.
Okay. I want to say thanks to my listeners as well. Remember, I'm begging my listeners, many of them are older persons, to be very, very careful in terms of this pandemic. We're acting in Jamaica as if the pandemic is over. It is not. And we know that there's a new variant that is very deadly and very deceptive. So I'm begging persons to be very careful. Okay, I can't tell you to take the vaccine. I have taken it. I want to say thanks to Dervan and thanks to Adrian and thanks to my valued listeners who continue to support Land Solutions. My name is Gloria Brown. Have a very good day.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Beautiful Mother Nature, she looked at me with a smile on her face. Then she started to cry. She said, why did my children forsake me? She felt like she was dying. Oh, ungrateful children. When she was young, she was beautiful and strong. Yeah. The more children she had, the more things went wrong. Now she's feeling old and cold, and her heart doesn't feel love anymore. Beautiful Mother Nature, she sat me down and told me to sing her a song. Maybe it would make her feel better. Maybe her children.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, on the heels of today's edition of Land Solutions with Attorney at Law Gloria Brown. Quickly, before we go to our guest online, Nicholas Williams says, good afternoon to you, Mr. Malcolm, and also to your wonderful listeners, viewers. Welcome. Thank you, Nicholas. Curtis Smith says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm, and all of my brothers and sisters, home and abroad. Same problem with Power 106, not hearing anything. Sorry to hear about that, Curtis. We'll have to put your message in the transmission group on WhatsApp. Mona says, good afternoon, all. Say no to the poison, whatever that is. Thank you, Mona, for your message. Rose McIntosh is in London. She says, happy Monday, Sir Dervan. Blessings to all. Thank you very much, Rose McIntosh in London. More messages coming through. Hello to Jacqueline Simmons. Good to have you on board. Welcome. Good afternoon to Lady Jean in Monique, St. Anne. She says, good afternoon, Dervan. Kindly convey thanks and greetings to Mrs. Brown. She's a storehouse of knowledge on land and other legal matters. Much to her. No doubt Ms. Brown appreciates your sentiments. Thank you very much. Joan in Bermuda says, good afternoon, Ms. Brown and Sir D. Wow, I'm forever grateful for all this valuable info. Always, Ms. Brown. Very happy Elsa spared Jamaica yesterday. Thank you, Joan. Reverend MacDonald in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada says, blessings, greatness, love, and peace for today to all Jamaicans who God love to bless. Thank you, Reverend MacDonald in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Let's go to our guest right now. She is the executive director of the American Friends of Jamaica, Ms. Karen S. Chung. Good afternoon to you, Karen Chung. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan Malcolm. It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon.
Pleasure to have you join us here on Both Sides of the Story. Who are the members of the American Friends of Jamaica?
Dervan, I would like to read our mission statement, and then I'd like to expand and share with your listener audience who they are.
Yes.
And our mission statement states, the American Friends of Jamaica is a non-profit 501c3 organization dedicated to supporting Jamaican charitable organizations and social initiatives working to improve the lives of Jamaicans through systemic development in the areas of education, healthcare, and economic development. Founded in 1982 by Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica who love Jamaica and want to see it prosper, the organization has created a legacy of philanthropy dedicated to the people of Jamaica. The American Friends of Jamaica seeks to improve the lives of Jamaicans by supporting initiatives that advance self-sufficiency, promote healthy communities, and strengthen the nation. I would like to share with you and your listeners today that those same people who love Jamaica or who loved Jamaica in 1982 are still very dedicated and committed to Jamaica, to helping Jamaica and seeing Jamaica prosper.
Well, we could end the interview here. You've said it all, but we have more. That's a solid foundation on which to build an organization. And in terms of the work of the organization, what determines the projects, the initiatives, the missions that you support?
Well, we have a grant cycle that begins in November each year, Dervan. We invite grant applications from organizations, charities registered with the Charities Act in Jamaica, who are serving in the fields of education, healthcare, or economic development. We invite applications. We then evaluate the applications to ensure they are valid. There is a board in place. There are processes to evaluate and ensure that checks and balances are in place. And we also conduct site visits. We have a program analyst on the ground here in Jamaica who reports to our board twice per year at least on how the programs, the projects are progressing on the ground here in Jamaica.
Outstanding. Now, we gather that the American Friends of Jamaica will be hosting a vaccination drive or a vaccination mission tomorrow at Hopewell Sports Complex. Could you first give us the background to the support of the AFJ to Jamaica in terms of dealing with COVID-19, and then we can come to the specific event for tomorrow?
Well, when the pandemic started in March last year, the AFJ sent our first shipment of PPE valued at just over $100,000. Masks, gloves, gowns, nebulizers were sent to the University Hospital of the West Indies. We have a partnership with St. Francis Hospital in Connecticut, and they have been really very supportive and continue to contribute equipment and supplies to our organization for healthcare in Jamaica. So that was our first initiative, and then subsequent to that, as you know, during the pandemic, the need for X-ray machines and critical care monitors became even more dire. We also provided equipment to hospital. I believe it was Cornwall Regional that we provided some critical care monitors, which were funded by the American Friends of Jamaica, and also to an X-ray machine to Cornwall Regional Hospital.
And now, well, before you tell us about tomorrow's exercise at Hopewell Sports Complex in Hanover, I'm sure there are people who will be saying, why not our community? Why Hopewell Sports Complex in Hanover?
That's a very good question, Dervan. The initial donor, the donor who seeded the funds with which we're using to set up infrastructure for this vaccine site, is a friend of Jamaica who visits Hanover very frequently. He and his family come to Hanover very frequently, and he's really, really committed and wanting to ensure that the population in Hanover becomes immunized, get vaccinated, because of course in his travels to Jamaica, he and his family over numerous years, they have developed relationships with people who either work in the hotel or who they've had some kind of interaction with. So he and his family are really very, very committed to ensuring that the people of Hanover get vaccinated. And that's how the fund started, through this contribution from this major donor who wanted to ensure the population in Hanover is protected.
And so now, for the people of Hopewell in Hanover, what do they need to know about the immunization program that will be taking place at the Hopewell Sports Complex tomorrow?
Well, if I may say, Dervan, despite the challenges with supply facing Jamaica and other developing countries, Jamaica is doing well. And we have to listen to our authorities coming from the WHO, etc. And we started the vaccine blitz site in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and also the Western Regional Health Authority in April. And we vaccinated just over 831 people at the vaccine site at Hopewell Sports Complex. We're now coming back to deliver on our promise to complete the vaccination process to ensure that those people get their second shots, and we can put a huge check in the box that we've come back to the same site and we're opening it up to anyone who is now due their second shot.
Right. And is there anything they need to know in terms of any form of documents that they'll need to take with them to the Hopewell Sports Complex?
They definitely, yes, Dervan. We want for people to ensure they bring an ID, and they also must take along their vaccination card, which will be evidence that they already received the first shot and they are now due the second shot. And if I may also mention that it is the AstraZeneca that will be administered at Hopewell Sports Complex tomorrow. So anyone who got the AstraZeneca already, of course, would be due the second dose now tomorrow.
What are the hours of this vaccination drive at Hopewell Sports Complex in Hanover tomorrow?
9 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow. And we are encouraging residents in Lucy, Cold Spring, Jericho, Sandy Bay, Hopewell, and Ramble, and the other surrounding communities. Come out, get your vaccination. Once you got your first dose already, please come out and join us and get yourselves fully immunized.
Are you able to say at this point who are some of the partners, maybe institutions, individuals, organizations who have come on board, apart from the individual you mentioned earlier on? And any particular words of gratitude to those who support the work of the American Friends of Jamaica on the ground here in Jamaica?
Absolutely, Dervan. There are so many, but for this particular initiative, I must say thank you to CPJ, Roundhill Villas, San Myrna Paper Products, and also the staff and the folks we are working with at the Western Regional Health Authority. It has been a collaborative effort, and the last one was very successful, and we know tomorrow will be just no less than that.
And for those who would like to follow the work of the American Friends of Jamaica, where can they turn?
Please visit theafj.org. That is theafj.org.
Sounds good. We want to thank you very much for the work that you and the other members of the team and your supporters and volunteers continue to do at American Friends of Jamaica. Well done. We'll be continuing to spread the news. I'm going to post this poster on my pages right now to remind the people of Hanover and for their relatives seeing this information so that they can encourage their relatives to go out and get vaccinated. The second dose of the AstraZeneca tomorrow, Hopewell Sports Complex. Well done, as usual, Karen Chung.
We can't thank you enough for your constant support, Dervan. And if I may also say, the people coming to the vaccination site don't have to be from these communities. If you're passing through, working on this side of the island and happen to be here and you are due your second shot, please do visit the Hopewell Sports Complex tomorrow between 9 and 4 p.m.
We join you in supporting those sentiments. Thanks a lot. We'll talk again soon. All the best.
You too. Thanks, Dervan. Bye-bye.
Good. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
When she was young, she was beautiful and strong.
That was Karen S. Chung, the executive director of American Friends of Jamaica, the American Friends of Jamaica. And they are hosting an immunization session all day tomorrow, essentially, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Don't hesitate. Vaccinate. COVID-19 vaccine second doses. Those of you who got the first, yet to get the second, if you're in and around the Hopewell Sports Complex, or if you'll be passing through the parish and passing that area, Hopewell Sports Complex in Hopewell, Hanover, here's your opportunity to get vaccinated, to get the second dose. Remember to take along an ID and your vaccination card. And this is all courtesy of the American Friends of Jamaica, AFJ. Let's take some more of your messages and welcome your calls as well on whatever is on your mind. How did you do yesterday or over the weekend in general with first of all, with Hurricane Elsa, which eventually became Tropical Storm Elsa? How did you deal with the conditions yesterday? And if there's anything in particular you'd like to highlight, please feel free to call. And whatever else is on your mind, after all, it is your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115 are the numbers to call. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, WhatsApp, Snapchat, TikTok, all over. You'll find us. And we're looking forward to your continued listenership and support. We see your messages coming in. Let's clear these messages right now. Velta Wilson in St. Thomas. How did you fare in the parish of St. Thomas in eastern Jamaica? How did you manage this past weekend? Inez Campbell-Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut says, good afternoon, everyone. Hoping everyone is doing okay after that rain yesterday. Mike, otherwise known as Balti in Baltimore, says, greetings, Ambassador Dervan and the both sides of the story family. As always, it's so good to listen to you, Dervan. Blessed love and thanks. Balti in Baltimore. Good to have you on board, Balti in Baltimore. Thank you very much for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And here's some more. Let's go to WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line, same as the text line, 876-365-3346. And this is a story we have read before, and we've been asked to read it again with a view to getting some attention for this family, mother of four, one 13, going to high school, and the eldest in a first-year student at Northern Caribbean University, and the mother herself is a final-year student at the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. She also has a pair of twins, boy and a girl. She works, and the husband does farming, but COVID, things have really gone bad since COVID, I think essentially is what the message is saying here. Her estimated bill at UCC is about $300,000. She really needs to pay all her tuition to complete her modules by December to get her degree in order to get a better paying job to support her son in college and the rest of the children. We have read the message for a second time. If there's anyone who'd like more information, you can always message us on 876-365-3346, and we'll share your contact details with that family. 876-365-3346. Vision in New York says, bless up, teacher. Hope all is well with you and all the listeners. Glappy, new word, to hear no major damage during hurricane. I see. So a combination of glad and happy. Glappy. Thank you very much for your message, Vision. Jimmy says, Sir M, dear friend, please send me Miss Gloria Brown's phone number. We'll do that right now, Jimmy. Sharing the number. And you should have the number right now. All the best. Thank you very much for your message. 876-365-3346, the text line, the WhatsApp line, and sometimes used as a straight line to us on this side of the glass in the studios of Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls on 876 922 4112-5. 876 922 4112-5. Here's some information. In fact, let's just give you a quick update with respect to Tropical Storm Elsa and the information coming out of the Met Office. I hear the name has been changed. I haven't gotten used to that yet. Tell us some more. The Met Office, the Weather Center, whatever you call it, please share. D. Roach Williams says, good afternoon to you too, D. Roach Williams. Inez Campbell Brown says, that should be hoping and not hopping. Need proof reading on Facebook. Velta Wilson says, I didn't venture out. She's in St. Thomas. She says, I didn't venture out at all. The roads were flooded in some areas. The contractors need to hurry up and complete road work from Morant Bay to East Prospect. The road is terrible and will get impossible if we are to experience another bad weather like we had over the weekend. They are working at snail's pace, and if they don't hurry, all the work done will be wasted job. And she goes on to say, it was like lockdown in St. Thomas yesterday. Most people stayed home. The only people I saw were in my household, she says. Well, we want to keep in our thoughts and prayers those who were negatively impacted by the rains over the weekend, wishing, hoping, and no doubt trusting that individuals, institutions, organizations will be working towards helping to relieve whatever distress has been caused by tropical storm Elsa. We trust that those who have found themselves on the receiving end of some of what we would have seen on social media and on traditional media, that they will indeed get the help and support that they need. In the meantime, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, the numbers to call. Let's go to the very latest. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, some updating needed as far as the Met service is concerned. But let's go to the general, the National Hurricane Center itself, to see what is the status of what used to be, or what was Hurricane Elsa, which is now Tropical Storm Elsa. Well, here's an advisory that came in 2 minutes ago. Tropical Storm Elsa Advisory 22. Elsa is moving over western Cuba with heavy rains. Please spare a thought for our brothers and sisters in Cuba, our neighbors in Cuba. Tropical Storm Elsa is moving over western Cuba with heavy rains expected to pass. Well, with heavy rains, Elsa is moving over western Cuba with heavy rains. Elsa is expected to pass near the lower Florida Keys tomorrow. So those, again, are brothers and sisters and neighbors in Florida might want to pay attention there. Tropical Storm Elsa moving over western Cuba with heavy rains and expected to pass near the lower Florida Keys tomorrow. Let's see what else we can find by way of update on Elsa. I learned that Elsa is I don't know how popular Elsa is with children, because I don't think is Elsa is not the princess in Frozen, is she? I don't think so. I've been hearing that people have been making that connection with Elsa from Frozen, and well, the children I have found they love Frozen for whatever reason, especially the girls. They seem to love the Frozen characters. So it is. Back in our day, what was it? Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird and those things. Right. Let's see another. Just looking at another report, also from the Hurricane Center. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Elsa, located near the south coast of central Cuba. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. So that's a general message there. More in a moment.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Whether you're a small farmer, street vendor, big investor, every entrepreneur got to wise up about your money. You have to make sure say your money secure. When you need to grow, you have access to more.
Financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs.
Access to more money, more credit, whatever your business needs. When you work hard for your money must work for you.
Hey, bro. I was in the area, so I just checking up on you. How things?
Same old, same old.
Somehow that's not what I was expecting to hear. 3 months ago, you were excited and going on about the new project you were working on. What happened to that, Andre?
Stalled. Or maybe it would be more accurate to say dead in the water.
I don't understand. It sounded solid to me.
It's an excellent project with incredible potential.
But
I approached my bank for a substantial loan to get it going and ran into an unexpected obstacle, a bad credit rating.
How can you get a bad credit rating with your track record?
I still can't figure it out, Peter.
Then you don't talk to the credit bureau that gave the bank the report.
Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I have never gotten a credit report before, but I need to know now, man. Suppose the report have the wrong information.
You know the credit bureau have to tell you what you need to know. But you have to ask for it in writing.
Oh? So once I write the bureau, it must provide me with the report?
It's a legal requirement. Section 15 of the Credit Reporting Act says the credit bureau shall, upon the written request of a consumer, make to the consumer a clear and complete disclosure of the nature and substance of all information pertaining to that consumer in the credit bureau's custody, possession, or control, the sources of such information, the name and address of every person to whom such information has been disclosed by or on behalf of the credit bureau during a period of 6 months immediately preceding the date of the consumer's request. The credit bureau shall inform the consumer of the consumer's rights to make a complaint if he wishes. A disclosure under this section shall be made by the credit bureau to the consumer free of charge in the case of the first request made by that consumer in each calendar year, and on payment of a fee not exceeding the prescribed amount in the case of a second or subsequent request by that consumer in that calendar year. That's how it is under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Join us Mondays and Tuesdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. on Power 106 FM for Under the Law.
Que ahora es en español, son las 4:04. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:04. 现在 TDN 了4 DN 04 分. 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Here are some key messages just came in from the National Hurricane Center with respect to Tropical Storm Elsa. Message number 1, heavy rain will impact the Cayman Islands and Cuba through tonight, resulting in significant flooding and mudslides over Cuba. As Elsa approaches the Florida Keys, Florida Peninsula, and southeast Georgia through Wednesday, heavy rainfall may result in isolated flash, urban, and minor river flooding, with considerable flooding possible in southwest and western portions of Florida. Mid to late week, heavy rains across coastal South Carolina, North Carolina, and southeastern Virginia may result in isolated flash and urban flooding. There is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along portions of the west coast of Florida tomorrow night and Wednesday, and a storm surge warning has been issued for that area. Tropical storm conditions are expected to continue across portions of central and western Cuba tonight and spread northward across portions of the Florida Keys and the Florida West Coast through Wednesday, where a tropical storm warning is in effect. There is a risk of tropical storm conditions along portions of the coasts of Georgia and the Carolinas Wednesday and Thursday. That information from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. We want to wish safe passage to all our neighbors and friends and colleagues and brothers and sisters and acquaintances in these countries or states mentioned in the report. We trust that you'll be able to successfully ride out your storm. Robledo Black Pearl Michelle says, you're wearing my school colors from Alpha Academy. Oh, really? Now I know. I was in class at sixth form level, though, at l'Alliance Française de la Jamaïque, when they were at off is that Barbican Road? That's where well, translated, it's the French Alliance of Jamaica, but it's correctly called l'Alliance Française de la Jamaïque. So I was the only male in those classes, and the females were, the girls were from Alpha. So I attended French classes at A level at l'Alliance Française de la Jamaïque. So I was the only male, and the females all attended. They all attended Alpha Academy. I think it was about 4 or 5 of them, small class. And yeah. So now we know, Robledo Black Pearl Michelle, that you too went to Alpha Academy. She says, enjoying your show as usual while I await Rascava. What is this? And Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester, has joined us as well. Welcome, Nicola. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your message, and thanks for joining us. And hello to the girls. Hope all is well in this summertime. We have a couple of stories to share, just in case you've been busy and not being able to catch up on the latest news. The police are reporting that a man has been taken into custody in relation to the shooting deaths of 2 men on Rum Lane in Kingston last Friday. The police say he was picked up by cops attached to the Kingston Central Police this afternoon in a targeted operation. They say he's to be interviewed in the presence of an attorney. And the news is not good coming out of Indonesia. Jakarta, Indonesia. Parts of Indonesia lack oxygen supplies as the number of critically ill COVID-19 patients who need it increases. The nation's pandemic response leader said today, after dozens of sick people died at a public hospital that ran out of its central supply. Oh no, what a tragedy. Due to an increase of 3 to 4 times in the amount of oxygen needed, the distribution has been hampered, said Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, the coordinating maritime affairs and investment minister. So sorry to hear. The government is asking oxygen producers to dedicate their full supply to medical needs and will import it if needed, said Panjaitan. The statement comes after Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadiqit said the government guaranteed oxygen supply for COVID-19 patients on June 25. At least 63 COVID-19 patients have died during treatment at Dr. Sardito General Hospital in Yogyakarta City since Saturday. Similar thing happened in India, you may recall. What a thing. We just need to continue to do what we know we're supposed to do to protect ourselves and protect others. There's a report as well that the Ministry of Labor and Social Security saying that its Harbour Street office in Kingston has been closed to the public due to flooding caused by yesterday's rain. Ministry of Labor and Social Security reporting that its Harbour Street office in Kingston has been closed to the public due to flooding caused by yesterday's rain. Also doing the rounds, Johnson says restrictions to ease. UK must live with coronavirus. That's coming out of the United Kingdom. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed today that his government plans to scrap laws requiring face masks and social distancing later this month, though he acknowledged that lifting the restrictions will drive surging coronavirus cases even higher. Johnson said legal controls will be replaced by personal responsibility when the country moves to the final stage of its lockdown lifting roadmap. That is scheduled to happen on July 19, though Johnson said a final decision would come on July 12. So the UK, well, that kind of opening up seems on a much, it seems as if that will take place on a much larger scale. And there have been already criticisms about our easing of restrictions here in Jamaica. We will see. We will see what happens. Quickly, some more of the trending stories. We gave you stories out of the Gleaner just now. Let's see what the Observer is reporting. A Trelawney fisherman was or has been arrested and charged after an M16 rifle and several rounds of ammunition were seized, allegedly found in his home in Scarlett Hall district in the parish on July 1. The police said 39-year-old Corey Brown was charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. A fisherman. That's the story. Residents protest after woman shot dead by police in St. Andrew. Another story trending right now. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Punky, this COVID mash up everything. Nothing on.
So what the government are gonna really do for we? It's like everything a secret. We hear about COVID grant this and that, but how much money they are gonna spend on COVID so?
The European Union is partnering with the government of Jamaica to provide better public access to information on how it collects and spends money. Visit the Ministry of Finance's website at mof.gov.jm for more information. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance and the European Union.
Experience real Jamaican-style service when you fill up at Morant Bay Texaco Gas Station, Briam's Texaco Service, and Gale's Service Station. They remind all motorists to make sure windscreen wipers are clean and working. Also, check brake lights and windows. They also implore customers and other road users to stay accident-free. You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy,
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Pastor, some men just feel that what they have in their pants is enough.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. 现在地点了4点17分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Yes, young people, I know what you're waiting to hear me say. And then you'll have a good laugh. Because technically speaking, you're on summer break. Technically speaking, you're on summer break. However, because of COVID-19 and its impact on your learning, there is a series of programs over this summer. That's not to say you won't be able to have some fun over the summer, young people. You'll have more than enough time to have fun in between your classes, your special summer classes. The aim being to bring you as close as possible, because the time is short anyway, but for what it's worth, to bring you as close as possible to where you need to be at this point in your schooling. And we trust that you will take full advantage of that. And yes, by all means, have some fun. It's been quite a turbulent time over the past 15 months or so, and you deserve every bit of break that you get, young people. But you know what we always say, even when school is out, homework is always in, because homework is about preparation, and proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. And we look forward to hearing good things about our young people, especially those from the early childhood level to the secondary level. We trust you still managed to have a productive day of learning today, because even when school is out, you get the point, right? Learning continues. So we trust you had a productive day of learning. We also hope you managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. All the best, young people. Please have a safe summer. Safety first. Safe summer, please. Residents protest after woman shot dead by police in St. Andrew was the story we teased before the break. A woman was shot dead during a confrontation with the police this morning. The woman has been identified as 36-year-old Toshiba McLeod. The Constabulary Communication Unit confirmed the shooting, which reportedly happened at 3:40 this morning on Seaward Drive off Mollines Road in St. Andrew. No firearm was recovered from the incident. No firearm was recovered, but the incident involved a knife. Reports reaching Observer Online are that McLeod was involved in a dispute with a man when the police were called to intervene. After the arrival of the lawmen, McLeod's spouse was reportedly placed in a police service vehicle. She allegedly then advanced to the police with a knife and was shot after disobeying instructions to drop the weapon. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Residents took to the streets later in the morning and blocked the road to protest the shooting, alleging police brutality. Observer Online will have more on this story as it develops. So that's another of the loss of any life is to be regretted. That is a tragedy. Another of the stories. New flights into Jamaica, vital to tourism recovery efforts, says the tourism minister. And CARICOM chairman worried about untenable situation in Haiti. Poor Haiti. When it's not one thing, it's another. Oh dear. And in terms of sports, breaking story. Lendl Simmons. Or is it Lendl? No, it's not Lendl. It's his uncle. Head coach Phil Simmons says we've got to be smarter in reference to the West Indies. Well, yeah. We've been saying that for years, actually. We just need to demonstrate. Yes, they have excelled. There have been peaks and troughs throughout. But even so, it's about learning from the smart moves that one would have made in a previous match or previous encounters. You learn from those. Every match is different. And it's awareness. That's what it is. There's a saying that says, never look back with regret, nor look forward with fear. Look around you with awareness. Awareness. We can't change what happened yesterday. Yesterday is gone. We don't know what the future holds. That is to come. What we know is where we are right now. And we must be aware of what's happening or not happening. And you apply that level of awareness when you get onto the field of play. What is the state of play? What is my role going to be in this partnership? Etc., etc., etc. Smart cricket, smart cricket. This is the smart age. Let's see if the West Indies would have learned anything from their series against South Africa when they take on Australia starting on Friday in the first of 5 T20 internationals. Let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Mervis.
Well. Teacher of the day, of the all times. I just love to hear you focus on the students, all the time, telling them to do their homework and all that. And I definitely call to give God some special thanks for what happened with this Hurricane Elsa. I was very concerned about the holiday class for the students. And one of my genuine prayer and beseeching to God is to do something about that hurricane and please don't allow it to affect the holiday classes. Realizing how long some of them have been out of school and they might not learn a whole lot, but to prepare themselves and set their mind, get them back the right mindset for school come September. I think this holiday class is something wonderful. So I'm definitely giving God thanks that although we have some damages from the hurricane.
Some damage.
Damage from the...
No S.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some damage from the hurricane. We can still move on to do the holiday class. I'm terribly grateful for that. I watched that hurricane, how it sizzled out and spin around and do some things and sat down there. And I guess God did something else, You see this entertainment thing with this Delta virus. It's like him intervene right there, so too. Yes. Because some of us are very concerned about this Delta virus and all that problem with the doctors and all that. In the midst of this thing, I feel God intervene right there, so too. Because when I look at the television and listen to the radio and what some people are saying, is that some people don't care one biscuit or one crackers about any virus, Mm-hmm. From long time, the police having problem with them and these entertainment that they're carrying on. They don't follow no protocol. They don't do anything. And the pressure is on the doctor and the nurses. And when you refuse to give them what they deserve, they migrate. And we are left short of doctors and nurses and the set of burnout. And thank God up to now, we haven't gotten to the place with this virus like what I saw in some countries with people lying down all over the place, dying and have to be lighting bundle of fire for burn dead and all that kind of stuff. We still have a lot to give thanks for and we need to do better than what we are doing. So that is one of my chief reasons for calling this program because I have to big up God and tell him thanks for cooling down Miss Elsa so that the students can get to go to their holiday class and prepare themselves, set themselves back up. And I hope that the parents will take the opportunity to make sure they get them into these classes. Thank you very much for the time. I'm always eternally grateful to God when I see them hurricane come near us and feel the whole nation should expect some form of gratefulness. Because the roofs could have been gone, a whole lot more could have happened. And again, God's mercy is extended in certain ways. And again, it show up some of the latter work that we claim we're doing on the roads. All of them, what you call them, 4-lane road and I don't know, you see them big road when the rain start to fall, the water just go down them like nothing, Them whole heap of 4-lane roads and whatever. When we make them without the relevant whatever to carry the water away. That is what we're gonna get flooding. It's something to look for an industrial terrace down there yesterday. With them kind of flooding and stuff. But it seems as if the more we tend to work on roads and say we're improving situation, the worse it's becoming. Because we're not doing the right thing. I always look at that gully that I drive over between Halfway Tree and Canton Spring. Can't remember what the gully name. That big gully that carry away a lot of water. Close to the I think it passed close to the transport center there too. That big gully, I can't remember what the name of it is. But it seems as if we're doing a lot of building and so we're improving this and improving that. But when it comes to the matter of setting up drainage system, we are very poor on that these days. So all glory to my King of Kings and Lord of Lords, who at least, although we are ungrateful many times, but we didn't get the full brunt of this hurricane.
Thank you for the call.
My line of argument, and I pray for my children, my Jamaican children, that this COVID thing will go down and go away so that they get back to school. I'm sorry for them, with all the technology
I hear it.
about.
We have to go to the break now, though, Miss Mervis. Thank you.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with USAID.
Motorists, is your front end loose? Save time and money. Use the Bajik injector system. Bajik rebuilds worn ball joints, rack ends, stabilizer links, drag links, control arms, and more. Same-day service available. Bajik Jamaica, 1C Grove Road, Kingston, 929-3622.
Win big this summer. Enter the Gleaner Star Luxurious Escape Competition. Win the grand prize of 2 weekends for two at an all-inclusive hotel plus $25,000 in groceries, weekly cash prizes, and more. Buy a printed copy of the Gleaner Star. Enter the serial number at the front page by texting 876-322-7967 or online at gleanerluxury.com. Competition runs from June 6 to July 10, 2021. See the Gleaner and the Star for details. Your luxurious escape awaits.
Que ahora es en español, son las 5:28. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:28. 现在地点了5点28分. 28 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Sharon Campbell, Sheron, Sharon Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Give thanks we were safe and the sun is out now. So my prayers go out to our brothers and sisters who have been affected by Elsa. Ricardo, good afternoon. Thank you very much for being a part of the experience as usual. Oliver Masters says, I too are awaiting my two bestest of callers, Miss Dear Olive and Mr. Carver. Do hope both will call in soon. LOL. Neriga Smart Morgan 7 says, yes, learning never stops until you die, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. I'm hoping and praying that school will reopen this coming September. Face to face, to be precise. Thank you very much for your message. Speaking of learning, let's learn some of the rich history of the region, not least of all here in Jamaica. On this day in 1819, Simon Bolivar proclaimed Colombia a republic. Simon Bolivar, the liberator of Spanish Central America, came to Jamaica on the 10th of September, 1815. Simon Bolivar came to Jamaica as a political refugee and remained here for about 7 months. The Duke of Manchester entertained him in what was also the year of the Battle of Waterloo. The Duke of Manchester was Jamaica's longest-serving governor. He spent 17 years in office, and the parish of Manchester, which was established on the 13th of December, 1814, was named in honor of the Duke of Manchester, Jamaica's longest-serving governor. But back to Simon Bolivar. August 25, 1955, the Bolivar Society of Jamaica, which intended to erect a bust of Simon Bolivar, the great South American liberator, asked the mayor and council of the then KSAC to name an area of the thoroughfare southeast of the King George VI Memorial Park, Bolivar Place. King George VI Memorial Park is now National Heroes Park, and Bolivar Place did in fact materialize. A monument to Simon Bolivar can be seen at the southern end of National Heroes Circle in Kingston, in front of the Ministry of Education. Simon Bolivar was active in the struggle to free the Spanish-American colonies from Spanish rule and came to Jamaica to seek help from the British. He lived in Kingston from May until this day in 1815, when he fled Jamaica after narrowly escaping assassination during the night while he was away from the house he lived in at the corner of Princess and Tower Streets. Tower Street used to be known as White Street in downtown Kingston. That spot, I believe, is now occupied. Is it? What's the name of that bank? Oh, I think, no, they were bought out by Sagicor. So it would be Sagicor down there now, RBC, what used to be RBC, RBTT. Spanish agents apparently bribed Simon Bolivar's freed slave, Pia. In fact, the following day, December 31, 1815, Pia was arrested, tried, and hanged at the Kingston Parade Square, now known as St. William Grant Park, in the heart of downtown Kingston. Pia apparently stabbed a man who was sleeping in Simon Bolivar's hammock in 1815. Pia was paid to assassinate Simon Bolivar, but killed the wrong man. Apart from being hanged on December 31, 1815, let's just say Pia was also decapitated. And so that is how Pia ended up. But one last word on Simon Bolivar, who fled Jamaica after that failed assassination attempt in 1815. During his time here in Jamaica, Simon Bolivar wrote his famous Jamaica letter, or Carta de Jamaica, which is still regarded as one of the greatest documents of his career. The letter is dated September 6, 1815. In it, Simon Bolivar cautions, do not adopt the best system of government, but the one that is most likely to succeed. Do not adopt the best system of government, but the one that is most likely to succeed. Let's go to 1865. In the East End of London, revivalist preacher William Booth and his wife Catherine established the Christian mission later known as the Salvation Army. Determined to wage war against the evils of poverty and religious indifference with military efficiency, Booth modeled his Methodist sect after the British Army, labeling uniformed ministers as officers and new members as recruits. 22 years later, on December 15, 1887, Colonel and Mrs. Abram Davies, their 5 children, and Captain Mark Saunders, who was blind, arrived in Jamaica from England and officially started the Salvation Army on the lawns of the Myrtlebank Hotel in downtown Kingston. Andrew Beard was issued a patent for the rotary engine on this day in 1892. On this day in 1928, the Jamaica Pharmacists Association was established, with about 15 members. Today, there are more than 750 registered pharmacists in Jamaica. In 1944, the name Jamaica Pharmacists Association was changed to the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, PSJ. The Pharmacy Act was passed 22 years later in 1966, and the Pharmacy Council of Jamaica was set up in 1975. Today, there are more than 380 registered pharmacies in Jamaica. Good afternoon to all pharmacists listening to us right now, and especially the handful of pharmacists who work in the public health sector. Did you know that since, well, we did some checks, how long ago was this? A few years ago, and we found that, when was that? That was 2013, and found that since the abolition of user fees, there had been a 44% increase in the use of public sector pharmacies. And despite the adverse human resource situation, more than 2 million visits of patients to public pharmacies had occurred within the 2-year period back then. This is especially important as the Ministry of Health at the time had increased its allocation of resources for the purchase of pharmaceuticals and medical sundries by 167% over the 5 years before. That was that's 2008 to 2013, that period. Off the top of my head, that piece. At the time, the report was that over the last 20 years, the number of people accepted for training to become pharmacists at the University of Technology had increased almost threefold. However, the shortage of pharmacists in the public sector persists due to the unsatisfactory remuneration and working conditions. Of the 150 established posts for registered pharmacists in the Ministry of Health at the time, only 45 had been occupied for several years. And finally, just for your information, the word pharmacy derives from the Greek pharmakon, 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 meaning drug or medicine. The root word pharma, Pharma, was a term used since the 15th to 17th centuries. In addition to pharma responsibilities, the pharma offered general, and the pharma here is Pharma, the pharma offered general medical advice and a range of services that are now performed solely by other specialist practitioners, such as surgery and midwifery. The pharma, Pharma, as it was referred to, often operated through a retail shop, which, in addition to ingredients for medicine, sold tobacco and patent medicines. What a contradiction. That the same source of the medication was also selling tobacco. The farmers, PHARMAS, also used many other herbs not listed. What time is it? Just before we take the break, and we give you a quick one. Small settlers of Galena, St. Mary, complained at a meeting of the Parent-Teacher Association that the price being paid by the Public Works Department for breaking stone to pave roads was unsatisfactory. Stone breaking, they pointed out, was a major industry in Galena and neighboring districts such as Grantstown, Mason Hall, and Racecourse for stone breakers and stone owners. and they wanted the price to be increased from 3 and 6 per yard to 4, they decided to form themselves into a union and also wrote labor leader Bustamante for his support. So let's come back to that, the stone breaking, because there's a folk song for that too, isn't there?
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with
Hose Assembly
USAID.
and Supply HAS is the best at what they do. They supply hoses, fittings, and tools. They guarantee they are unbeatable in price and quality combined. Branded by you as the hose and tool boss with the most effective industrial solutions. Come, experience the joy of shopping with the hose boss. Call 876-923-3936 or visit them at 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent, or Montego Bay Trade Center. HAS would like to thank their customers for over 30 years. Win big this summer. Enter the Gleaner Star Luxurious Escape Competition. Win the grand prize of 2 weekends for 2 at an all-inclusive hotel plus $25,000 in groceries, weekly cash prizes, and more. Buy a printed copy of the Gleaner Star. Enter the serial number at the front page by texting 876-322-7967 or online at gleanerluxury.com. Competition runs from June 6 to July 10, 2021. See the Gleaner and the Star for details. Your luxurious escape awaits.
The more children she had, the more things.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 13. Hiện tại, TDN le, Wu Dian Cha Shi San Fen. 13 minutes to 4 o'clock, to 5 o'clock, I beg your pardon. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Right, we were telling you about the small settlers of Galena, St. Mary, who complained at a meeting of the Parent-Teacher Association that the price being paid by Public Works Department for breaking stone to pave roads was unsatisfactory. And the story went on. So that folk song, Go down Emmanuel Road, Galam boy, Figo broke rockstone. Go down Emmanuel Road, Galam boy, Figo broke rockstone. Broke them 1 by 1, Galam boy. Broke them 2 by 2, Galam boy. Member play with a play, Galam boy. Finger mash, no cry, etc. Stone breaking in this country was a big thing at some stage, especially for road construction, apparently. We could do well with some of those stones now, right? They're still here, aren't they? Let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, listener.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's good to talk about road construction, because, you know, some of those roads still exist today, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And it come like a railway road. Yeah, but, Dervan, you see, when I was building the highway and I reached Spanish Stone Leg, when I time I saw a good distance, like they was building a wall side here to back up the dirt to them going, the material to full lay road. I look at those things, see like they have anything where the water should cross the road. So what I was suggesting that they should make something like culvert underneath the road, or it look like canal or whatever. That they don't know where water can cross, because we have to respect the power of gravity when it comes from water, you know.
Oh, yes.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, man, we respect the power of gravity when it comes from water, because what really happens, you will see one drain and you don't know how much tributary running at it. And those tributary break off and direct to one spot, but you have to make sure say directly you can't take all of that water. Because to be truthful, you see, when you travel on the road, you can't see some of the tributary because some of them invisible, especially on flatland. So we have to always know, so when we build in the highway, then we put in some gutter, we call it culvert, or something look like canal or tunnel underneath the road. Even look like, make no sense, very much useful when it comes to flood.
Well,
Like
we would
so,
like to think that with all the road construction and rehabilitation that is being done and has been done in the country, that surely we must have people in Jamaica who know how to do these things.
Yeah, and one of the greatest things of knowing people who knowing it is to talk with the people in the community and ask them how high water run and what direction water run from and how it go and stuff. Because sometimes some of these drains catch water from all 10 different little tributaries across the road. And when you direct them down to a spot now, at the end of the day, you realize that the road carry more water than the river. You know, say some road carry more water than the river. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yes, so we have to bear in mind that power of the gravity of water, we have to make as much space for the water run. That's because even the thing when they call the media and them you pass by stone and going to town. I think if they do something called culvert across the road, the media and them wouldn't back up the water because they eventually go on the culvert and travel and go where to go.
A big part of the problem is that too many developments or buildings or structures have been erected in water courses, essentially.
Oh.
So that they build up these areas, and then when we have heavy rains, or it doesn't even have to be too heavy, the water has nowhere to go because there are all kinds of structures in the way. No provision, very little provision, or inadequate provision would have been made for the water to be channeled properly.
Yeah. That even some years ago, when I was listening to Mr. Trump saying he was going to make wall, I wonder if you know when he going to build a canal or a wall. Because sometimes we say make a fence and he could be making a canal either Mexico or America and in a danger. You understand? So you have to left way for water run. That
Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 6 FM. Raskava the Builder is online. Welcome, Raskava.
Yeah, man. Give thanks to life. How long it takes for an account to be dormant at a bank, or it varies from one to the other?
That's a good question. Let's see. I'm not sure. In fact, my wife and I took out an account or opened an account around the time that we were getting married, and we didn't even remember that account was still. We did remember, but then when we checked, we realized that the account was still. Well, let's just say it wasn't dormant. It was still reflected on the system as being active, and this was like, wow, years, a couple of decades, well, and it's still so. So it clearly is different from financial institution to financial institution. They apparently have different considerations with respect to assigning or according dormancy to their customers' accounts.
I have an account that I did not service for just over a year, and we carry a check, but if you go lodge, and the teller tell me say it is dormant, and me need to go get an ID, a different ID or a photograph signed by a JP. When me have the book with my name, me have the national ID with my picture and name, and me have one of my driver's license that was renewed. Me had it, the expired one with me added to it. She has said it expire, and all she want to know is to say if I'm me owns the account, which way the book have my name and the national ID have my name, my number, and my photograph plus the driver's license, and she would not take the money, and it's just over a year. So I said these are not encouragement to people to save money at bank in a virgin.
Well, I give you a better one than that. The particular account, which obviously had no money in it, and went to lodge a check in the account and was told, you have to have money in the account to lodge the check. I couldn't believe it.
And if you're making the money, you can't go give them.
Yes.
And them, I want to check my bring too. Because if you could have go to the bank or NCD check, but them top check take them won't check also.
Yes, minimizing money over the counter, yes.
Right. So when I say right, go but I go try to change it now, go lodge it. And the people them make me know so well, they have to have so much different identification when the book alone or the national ID, which is me. So what more you want? And me say people them not take it check.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It borders on ridiculous in a number of instances. Yes, we understand the nature of their business, and they have to be prudent and frugal, and all the other fiduciary duties that they have to abide by. But my Lord, goodness,
full ID with your picture on it, and don't want more than one.
Yeah.
No, sir, trust me, that is so turn off, because that's why enough people not go up bank, man, and can't bother with my role where them have to
yeah,
put
because
them.
what is clear is that they don't know their customer. They don't know the customer. And a part of the banking experience is supposed to be that you know your customer to the point where you can even you can have an interest rate policy that deals with the customers according to their situation, according to their status in terms of their financial status. So you would have some people benefiting from low interest rates on certain loans, etc., based on their standing. And that's one of the reasons why they're supposed to know their customers. But apart from that, if you really know your customer, then you really shouldn't have to be. It's like, I know that you are Rascava, and I am saying to you, you have to prove to me that you are Rascava.
If somebody can identify me and say, yes. I say, which a security guard over there, me know very well, him know me, I go call him, and he said, no, him can't do it. And him just tell me, say, if somebody know me, can identify, say, I'm this. But trust me, man. Anyway.
Well, oops, look at the time. We're out of time, Rascava. Sorry. Take care. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 5th of July, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, This is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Monday, July 5, 2021, government receives a preliminary repair bill for